All right, it is week 55 of the Trump Roundup. Yay, we're still doing this.
Okay.
Well, we already know about the infamous memo that got declassified. However, he's decided not to release the Democrat memo, claiming that there's too much information in it. You know, that just means it's too long. I didn't want to read it.
He didn't read it. There's no way he read it.
Which is kind of funny because we have news this week of Donald Trump declining to participate in the presidential daily brief.
Mm-hmm. Now, didn't the Democratic memo, didn't the FBI and the Department of Justice look at that and give it the okay?
Yes, both departments did give the okay, and both the Republicans and the Democrats voted for its release. It was up to the White House to declassify it. So Adam Schiff did a really good job of making the president look like a partisan hack here.
Oh, yeah.
Which is funny because
this was okayed by everybody. Okay.
Which is funny because he could just simply read it out on the floor now that it's, you know, it's been okayed by everybody else and not get in trouble for it, just like how they do with the Pentagon Papers, you know.
Nice.
They can just stand there and they can just rattle it off the whole way through. So Donald Trump has declined to participate in the presidential daily brief, which is breaking from his previous 7 predecessors and potentially hampering his ability to respond to crises, said the Washington Post. The source told the Post that reading the top secret document offered to the president every morning is not Trump's preferred, quote, style of learning, unquote.
Yeah, reading.
So, yeah, shortly after he took office, intelligence analysts crafted a method to brief Trump when we've talked about this, where it's like bullet points and infographics and stuff like that. He prefers photos and graphics to large swaths of text. He's like, I like bullets and I like as little as possible. I don't need like 200-page reports on something that could be handled on a page. Nobody's writing 200 pages unless it's actually necessary in a presidential brief, dude. Eventually, Trump made clear that he was not interested in reviewing a personal copy of the written intelligence report. You know, he could have had it delivered like Obama did on his iPad. It was placed on there. It's a PDF. You can just do that.
Yeah.
Leon Panetta, the former CIA director, told the Post that Trump's reliance on oral briefings means that he's missing critical nuance that's easier to grasp within written intelligence details because he opts for a fucking oral briefing. If for some reason his instincts on what should be done are not backed up by the intelligence because he hasn't taken time to read that intel, it increases the risk that he will make a mistake, said Leon Panetta. He said, you can have the smartest people around you, and in the end, it comes down to his decision, he said. And despite aides' assurances that Trump receives a daily briefing nearly every morning, the president's public Trump schedule indicates that he receives an in-person intelligence briefing every 2 to 3 days on average. Not daily, 2 to 3 days.
Well, yeah, they can't do it every day.
Meanwhile,
because he's watching TV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And as we've seen from his hair flip that we saw where he got on the fucking plane and he's bald. He's so fucking bald. It's not even funny.
So bald.
That's why it takes 6 hours for him to get up in the morning and take his long greasy shit that he does and starts tweeting hate shit until he actually shows up to work at like 11. Like 5 hours of him making his hair fucking presentable. God, I hate this man. So it says here that Trump sometimes complains that briefers are, quote, talking down to him, one source told the Post. He also often goes off on tangents during the briefing, and you have to rein him back in.
Okay,
he is a child.
This is what I would do. This is why I'm not going to run for president.
God, it just irritates the shit out of me. Let's see, what else did he talk about? Let's get back to the memo. He claimed that the Nunez memo totally vindicated him.
It sure did.
No, it was nonsense.
He's trying to say that the intelligence community is feuding with him because the Russia probe favors Democrats. Maybe because they're the ones not breaking the fucking law with campaign finances.
Yeah, that being true does not make anything different. Like,
or maybe the fact that
it does politically, but
the Democrats
biases, though.
Yeah, I mean,
one thing does not necessarily relate to the other. It's not a direct correlation on this.
Two suspects of a crime the one being charged favors the other. There being evidence for one favors the other for sure. Doesn't mean the first one isn't guilty. Like, that's not how this works.
Oh, he suggested Democrats who don't applaud during the State of the Union address may have committed treason. I love that one.
He did.
Cool.
And they come out and said,
like Paul Ryan?
Yeah, during, Obama's things.
All of Obama's. Yeah.
Yeah. How about his wife? His wife didn't stand up and applaud. Is she committing
No,
treason?
she's pissed.
I would be too. Shit. She did not want this life. She didn't want to be the first lady. She didn't want any of this. God, who could blame her? She just wanted to be the trophy wife, the paid for wife. She likes the privilege of what she has as money wise, but she doesn't want anything. I'm sure there's fucking divorce papers already written up and ready to go as soon as things are done.
She's pissed. The Stormy Daniels thing is apparently, like, since then she's been.
I can't wait for the books. I can't wait for the books to come out. Let's see. He dealt with some embarrassing split screens when he gave a speech about the booming American economy as the Dow experienced its biggest single day drop ever. And it's continued to tumble in the last couple of days as we've done this too.
That's not an indicator of the economy.
No, not the economy. However, he's the guy that always...
He loves to talk about about it.
He always loves to talk about the Dow and the stock market and how great it's doing. It's doing amazing. It's wonderful. It's great. It keeps going up, 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 up. Yeah, let's see. It's been going up for like 7 years now, and 6 of those underneath Obama. And so this 7th year, that it's going to start turning because it has to have a correction. Mm-hmm. That's how fucking markets work.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave Adam Schiff a new nickname, which I don't agree with. He calls him Little Adam Schiff, which, who wrote a secret counter memo.
Oh, my God. Trump
his nicknames are terrible.
No.
Dick. They're all dicks. It's all about dick size.
Yeah. And he welcomed a shutdown that was going to happen and did happen for about 5 hours.
Yeah.
But that was all Rand Paul's fucking game. The guy that voted for this $1.5 trillion windfall tax rebate shit that was going on here has a problem all of a sudden with deficit spending. Yeah, really? Really? Yeah, you're the
all of a sudden.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, fuck you and your fucking hair.
Mm-hmm.
We had his good buddy Rob Porter, his secretary, that was responsible for putting papers on his desk, who wasn't able to get a security clearance because he beat 2 of his wives, his ex-wives.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he got in is because Orrin Hatch gave him a glowing letter. Oh, you wonder why? Because he's Mormon.
Because he's Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, and if you look into those stories, the Mormon bishops that counseled both these women told them not to get divorced, and we're concerned
told him to stick with it.
And we're concerned about his career if they reported this.
Yeah, it would hurt
This poor man.
Now, here's the thing that I wanted to bring up with the whole Rob Porter thing, and it's what President Trump said about him.
God damn it! Yes,
post him getting kicked out of there, and it was firing, it was resigning. He quit. He was fired. We let him go. It changed stories at least 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll see Kelly out of the office here pretty soon. I hope. But anyway, he said here that we wished him well. He worked very hard. It's obviously a very tough time for him. He did a good job when he was in the White House, and we hope he has a wonderful career. So we, him, he, him, he, him. It's like, it's all about the guy. It's all about the guy. He went on to remind
feels so sorry, but for my ex-husband too. So.
Yeah. He went on to remind reporters that Porter is denying all allegations made against him.
Oh, of course he is.
Of course he is.
He says he's innocent. You have to remember that. He said very strongly yesterday that he's innocent. Said everybody accused of a crime ever.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's a picture of his ex-wife with the fucking black eye.
From 2005.
Yeah.
Verified. They verified this picture is from 2005 when she reported the abuse. And they're like, oh, you know what? Here's the thing is that people who are lying about these things, their stories tend to change. Their stories change a lot. The funny thing about us abuse survivors is that our stories stay weirdly static. Like,
yeah,
we can tell you what the abuse was. We can tell you how it happened. We can tell you when it happened, why, what we did. We can tell you. There are days I can tell you what I was fucking wearing.
And it's not one ex-wife; it's two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's see. He talked to the Pentagon specifically because he wanted a fucking military parade. He wanted giant fucking machines of war rolling down the streets of DC.
Apparently, he's wanted this since his inauguration and has been told no consistently. Mm-hmm. And then he saw it in France on Bastille Day, and he's like bringing it back up.
Yeah, if he understood Bastille Day like at all.
Which he doesn't.
He doesn't. No, can't expect him to fucking know what world history is. This guy, I swear. And it's funny because everybody's like, yeah, DC roads are not meant for that kind of hardware to roll through. That would be...
Yeah, the last year they did it was 89, and apparently it fucked up the roads bad.
Yeah, it did.
They're not meant to be driven. The intense military hardware is not meant to be driven on the roads like that. I personally think it'd be a way of him saying, "Hey, look, let's what is the word I'm looking for here? Let's normalize giant military hardware rolling through the cities because that's our future." That's exactly what he wants. Because
he's not thinking that far ahead. He's thinking about his dick.
Yeah, I just keep thinking about it, is that,
and that's dictators. That's a dictator thing. If they're not thinking that, like, the effect would be normalizing militarization across the board, patriotism at the end of a barrel of a gun. Those kinds of things would be the result. But dictators aren't thinking. Buffoons are dictators all the time.
Yeah.
Not all dictators are buffoons, but there are plenty of buffoons that are dictators.
Exactly.
And this buffoon wants, for him, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter what the long-term results are. He wants everyone to acknowledge how big his dick is.
And really, all he would really have to do is just whip it out.
No thanks. No.
I mean, no, I don't.
I want to see it. I do. Yeah. I want to see this dick. I want to see this 70-year-old sloppy, white-haired, ball-hanging, wrinkly dick. Tiny little thing.
He's got one nut that hangs lower than the other. He's going to have that. It's going to be extremely exaggerated.
Show me the dick. Show me this dick. I want to see this dick.
It's got me rethinking wearing briefs. I'm like, man, if he wears those, I don't want to be the guy that wears briefs. Fuck.
Honey, don't wear briefs. No. Just don't.
We'll talk for you.
They're terrible for you. And boxer briefs are far more attractive, and from what I understand, far more comfortable.
I don't like fabric on my legs. That's exactly what it is.